Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to show you my university traveler's notebook. I know I have promised it for a very long time, so here it is. I'm so sorry it took me this long to make the video, but I was quite busy. But finally I was able to sit down and make this video. If you have seen my previous videos, then you might be aware of this traveler's notebook that I've made. This is the very first traveler's notebook that I've ever made in my life, so this is quite special to me. I made a traveler's notebook that would be an A5 size, but I didn't get bigger leather, so I thought, okay, I'll settle for a Kair size. And to be honest, I am quite happy that I settled with this size because it is lighter than an A5 traveler's notebook, and it does not alter any of my functionality when it comes to taking notes at university and so on. I do study chemical engineering and I am stepping into my third year. So the notebooks I have here are from second year, second semester. And I had an exam in May/June. So all the notes and the revision, everything is all in this traveler's notebook. In my university, in each semester we have 4 modules, which is why I have got 4 notebooks here. And you can see the name of each modules. So before I get started in showing you what's inside, I do like to mention that I only use 1 insert for each modules. If you need more notebooks, then you can piggyback them in each strings and so on. I like to just keep everything all contained in one. I make my inserts with plain printer paper. I don't like lined papers, I'm not that fussed. I do like square papers for bullet journaling, but when it comes to note taking, I'm not really keen on that. So I make my inserts about 12 centimeter wide. So my first module was chemical engineer design and practice. I will show you how I take notes. I don't take that much vigorous notes when I am in the lecture. My main studying happens when I come back home and study on my own. That is when I make really good notes and stuff. When I'm in the lectures, I really don't find it necessary to copy all the things your lecturer says. Maybe it's better if you listen to your lecturers, then keep writing. You will see here that I write the date and I start writing. As you can see, on that day I wrote a very small amount. That day, small amount. We do a lot of sketching in engineering. It helps us understand things better. That was, I think, one of the meetings where we were just making notes for our coursework project. As you can see, I write the date and I write my lecture notes. I don't write that much during lectures. That day was quite funny because I was making notes for my second coursework and there wasn't much to write because everything is uploaded on the internet, so we can just download the lecture notes and the specification for any coursework. The lecturers makes our life easier by uploading everything, so all you need to do is attend the lectures and actually listen to what they have got to say. Anything important, I tip it in. Normally in my planning I always tip in, but I started to integrate tipping in notes in my lectures inserts because they are so useful at times. It adds dimension, so you pay more attention to it. I love tipping in stuff right now. So yeah, so these are the notes that I made during lectures, and as soon as you see the tabs, that's when you know I have started revising for my exams. So about here I started revising, and you can see the difference in my lecture notes. When I'm studying on my own, I actually make a lot of notes. I use colour, I use highlighter, any formulas, I put it in a speech bubble. Yeah, so this insert has all the lecture notes, everything in one booklet, which I love. So in future, if I needed to know what did I study in that topic, I just need to grab the insert rather than several other folders and other notebooks and so on. I actually really love that I can separate my modules in different inserts. It makes it so much handier and it's very easy to archive. And also during revision, I don't like to make notes in separate pages and carry all those revision card, other papers and so on. I just love to just get this out of my traveler's notebook and carry it with me to university and revise. Everything that I need to know is all in this insert, so I don't need to carry other things. That is all, lots of sketching and so on. And I still had plenty of paper left for me to do more revision or more writing. I never find it necessary for me to have more than 1 booklet for my subjects, and my handwriting is small. I think I can write even smaller than this and I can still read it. So if I made my handwriting even smaller than that, then I think I would have used less paper. You can see I use a lot of tabs. This is quite important for me to be able to tab my information and to be able to access them really quickly. And sometimes I even label my tabs, like over there I label them. Anyway, so the second insert I have is my maths. I'm quite ashamed of this insert. Normally I make my maths inserts really thick, thicker than these no other topics, but this time I feel ashamed that I did not use the whole insert. Normally I do end up using a lot of the pages in this maths booklet, but this year I didn't do that much maths. I still got good marks, but I didn't practice as much as I should have. Normally when I have my maths insert I end up using all the pages, because when it comes to maths you just have to keep doing the problem over and over again so that it sticks to your head. I tipped in an integration and differentiation rules that I find really helpful, and it's really good to have it right there in front of me. Each day lecture notes are non-existent. I don't really take that much notes during lectures, like I've said before, so I took a small amount of lecture notes and some formulas that I need to remember, and when I started studying, that's when I do loads. One thing I would like to tell you is that if you use cuticle oil as much as I do, make sure you dry your hands or remove the oil before you go back and write on your paper. Because I had lots of cuticle oil on my hands and I was writing, it kind of stained it a bit, so you can see through the paper. So it made it translucent. If you guys can hear a buzzing noise, that's my fridge. It looks like I have done a lot of work, but to be honest, I didn't. Alright, so my next topic was thermal, and this was my last exam, by the way, and this was the one that changed my game when I started using tip-ins. I wish I did it for all my other topics, but I didn't. So in engineering you have a lot of problems and you solve the question. In order to be good at solving questions, you solve a lot of questions. So we have several questions the teachers give us to solve. Now when you're revising, it's so important and very helpful if you have the questions and then the answers and then the questions and then the answers. Writing all those questions will take ages. There are some questions that are a paragraph long. I was wasting so much time writing the question and then writing the answer. Then I thought, why don't I shrink them and print them in as an A5 or even smaller and then tip it in. So this is what I have done. So as you can see here, I tipped in the questions and then I solved them, and that was really handy. So when I was doing my last minute revision, I was just looking at the questions where I tipped in, and I was looking at the answers and understanding how I solved them and remembering everything. This is so helpful. It was so helpful for me, and I'm going to carry on revising like this for my next year, my final year. I wish I learned that technique before. Tipping in is so helpful. So this is what I've done. Again, some questions I wrote in myself because it was really tiny. The reason, even if it was tiny, I tipped it in is because when I close my insert, I can literally see where the questions are and where I have to revise. So I can easily access the question pages and look at the questions and see the answers. Majority of the things that I study requires me to solve a question, so the revision is basically looking at the answers on how I solve the questions. So this was really easy for me to quickly access the pages that had questions and the answers. So questions and then the answers. So you can see I've highlighted a lot of things, post-it notes as well, tipping in, answering. I use tabs as well. These are not the question tabs, these are the tabs where I was actually making notes while I was studying. So here is another tab, I was making notes while I was studying, but the tipping in was where I was solving questions. So this is how I was able to distinguish my notes, and it is so important when you can actually organize your notes and access them really quickly. My last topic was principle of control. This was my very first exam, so there was a lot of notes happening, a lot of revision. I actually loved this module. I got really good mark for this because I studied it and I enjoyed studying it. Even though it doesn't have that much chemical engineering aspect, it had more like mechanical engineering, a bit software heavy, but I still loved it. So again, you can see lots of top tabs where I can access my information really quickly. And yeah, I was solving the tutorial questions, and you can see a lot of highlighting happening. Yeah, I use this insert really well. So this is my university traveler's notebook. As you guys can see, I use my inserts, I really use them. I know traveler's notebook is fun and some people like to decorate them and, you know, do a lot of things, whereas with my university traveler's notebook I don't really decorate that much. I just leave it as it is. So my inserts, they're plain, they're white cover with washi tape and so on. Anyway, so these are my inserts. Now I think they look amazing when you can just look at the top and see all these tabs. It really looks like you are studying, and it looks very well organized. So this is my university traveler's notebook, and these are the old inserts I'm archiving. I marked them as well. So this is second year semester 1, second year semester 1, thermodynamics, this is second year semester 1. This is year 1 semester 2. I started using my university traveler's notebook in my first year second semester, and first year notes weren't that important for me. I mean, those are just like revision from A levels, so yeah, I didn't find them that helpful. I still have them somewhere. Things that matters to me and they're important, I made sure I have them, and especially maths. This is a bit thicker than other insert, but as you can see, I really practiced and did a lot of maths. They archive really well. So in future, when you have a job interview or something and you want to revise from each topic, all you have to do is grab your insert and start revising. Grab your insert and start revising. You know, that's all you have to do. And basically this is your whole university life, and they're all in separate booklets. So I think this is a very good way to archive your information. You can show it to your kids in future, I'm sure you will, and if you made them decorative, then why the hell not. I'm so happy that I have actually changed my university note-taking with Traveler's Notebook. It really made a huge difference. I used to use loose paper and those binders for my note-takings. They were heavy, they took space in my backpack. I mean, it was just not the right thing for me. I just knew from the start that this is not the right way I like to take notes. I like things to be neat, things to be stacked properly. I like to organize them. I cannot say enough how much I love this note-taking system. So if you're someone who is not sure about what you love or like when it comes to note-taking and stuff, try Traveler's Notebook, see how it goes, because honestly it changed a lot of things for me, and I will carry on using this Traveler's Notebook when I go to work, because I think having something like this makes you want to take notes. I wrote a blog post on my website samsamstation.com. The article is not taking enough notes and how to overcome it, and one of the important thing I mentioned is finding the right notebook for your college, school, university. It is so important to find the right one, then you will want to use it to take notes, if that makes sense. So always find the right notebooks. It doesn't have to be a traveler's notebook necessarily, it can be anything, but make sure you love that notebook. Of course this video is biased because I use a traveler's notebook, so I'm always going to tell you, try a traveler's notebook for note-taking. And you don't have to use it exactly like me. You can jazz up your inserts, make it more fun. I have a completely separate insert for meetings and so on. You can always have fun with a traveler's notebook because you're customizing everything. I don't have to worry about running out of inserts because I make it myself. So anyways guys, I hope you have found this video useful. I hope it has encouraged you to think about a traveler's notebook and maybe invest in one, or even better, make your own. I wrote several articles about making your own traveler's notebook, so head over to samsamstation.com and read those articles. I hope they inspire you to make your own traveler's notebook. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I will see you again later. Bye!